Hello guys, welcome back to the Hitchcock Takeover here on Beyond the Realms, and today I'm going to be reviewing his very last film from 1976 entitled Family Plot. Now the story of this, it revolves around a fake psychic, a complete farce named Blanche, who through one of her clients, she's trying to track down a guy. One of her clients says that her sister gave up one of her kids for adoption years ago, and she really wants to track him down. So the client is offering $10,000 reward if Blanche is able to find him through her psychic powers. Well, Blanche is anxious about this, so she gets a hold of her taxi driver friend named George, played by Bruce Dern, a very young Bruce Dern, and they decide that they are going to do their own little manhunt and find this guy and collect the reward money. Well, they end up tracking him down, but they find out that he is taken on a whole new identity. He is a jeweler, but he is a very crooked guy. He is a bad guy, to say the least. Him, and along with his girlfriend, Fran, which is played by Karen Black, which some of you will probably know as Miss Firefly from House of a Thousand Corpses. They are very crooked people. I'll just leave it at that. And, Blanche and George have a hard time finding the truth out about this guy and this couple, actually. You guys, Family Plot is not a perfect film. It's not a masterpiece. It's definitely not one of Hitchcock's best films. But with that said, I really enjoyed this film. I really liked it a lot. I hadn't really heard anything about this at all, good or bad. Since I've been, watching films on Hitchcock, I've had a lot of people come to me and say, hey, check out this one, or have you seen this one, have you seen that one? And I've never really heard anybody say that about this film, so I didn't know what to expect. And I liked it. I really liked it a lot. It's a more lighthearted suspense. I mean, it's still a suspense film, but it's more lighthearted than some of Hitchcock's other films. It's serious tone, but yet it's not, because like the characters of Blanche and George, they're kind of almost like comedic in a way. There are some funny parts throughout the film, but they're just a lighthearted couple, that you could see having like a spin-off TV show or something. They're likable to watch, they're fun people. And, there's one scene in particular of this, where George's car gets, somebody messes with his car and makes it accelerate going down a hill, and also his brakes are out. It is a very funny scene. Because at first he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, damn, the car won't stop accelerating. But then he realizes it's just out of control. And it's him and Blanche in the car, and they're trying to get it stopped. They're weaving in and out of traffic, and oncoming motorcycles and school buses and all this stuff. And their reaction and how things play out is very funny. I really liked it a lot. I thought Karen Black was really good in this. She did a really good job, and it's just all around. It's just a fun film, and it's interesting how it plays out, at the end, because I could tell the very last scene. It's not going to ruin anything. It ends with a wink, one of the characters winking at the camera, and you almost want to feel like it's Hitchcock doing that, like he is actually doing right here, kind of like a final send-off, a goodbye. Now, granted, this is 4 years before Hitchcock passed away. But it did turn out to be his last film, and I think he went out with a good film. It's nowhere going to near match the greatness of Vertigo or Psycho or some of those other films like that. But it could have been way worse. And what a way to end a career. Being probably the most consistently great director of all time. I mean, you know, you could argue all down who's the greatest director of all time, but I mean, I think it's a pretty good argument to say that Hitchcock was the most consistently great director of all time because he has 5 decades of work. Excuse me. And, you know, with this being his last film, I mean, I think he went out on a high note. And, you know, it's cool because this film feels like a 70s film. You know, I think it would be very easy for this late in Hitchcock's career for him to just, you know, rest on his past work and kind of make films that were, you know, kind of seem dated, you know what I mean? Or just, you know, something that seems like it doesn't fit in this decade, but this very much feels like a 70s film. It's like I've said again and again, Hitchcock adapted with the times, and this shows it once again. This, you know, this one feels even, you know, more up to date than what Frenzy did from 4 years earlier. But, you know, it works. It works for its time period. I think it holds up right alongside a lot of films from the 70s also. So guys, Family Plot, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. If you've never seen it, check it out. You know, it wouldn't be a good starting point. But, you know, if you've watched a lot of Hitchcock films and you're wondering how some of his other ones may be, check this one out. You know, it's funny, it's fun, and it's an entertaining 2 hours. It's actually 2+ hours. I think it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. But I enjoy the entire thing. I really liked it a lot, and I will definitely watch it again. So, guys, that is Family Plot. I appreciate you all watching. Have a good one. Later.